thing really for the series when we look at it and Nordavind is the fact that their new lineup, they haven't played any of these 3 maps yet that are in the best of 3. So the question marks that were in the air over Vertigo, I'd say, they're pretty much everywhere. But look at this, a very quick play coming in. Croman actually able to close in the distance towards Heaven. There was a player on the bomb site. It was Forlin. He hadn't peeked at all, was hoping to just try and play for a little bit of a bait off of his teammate. But he ends up going down without finding anything at all. And suddenly it's a 5-on-3, a great after plan for Nordavind to be in.
Indeed, it is AGO in a little bit of a difficult spot going in for the retake. PHR takes down 2 though and swings things over a little bit more in their favor, but the time isn't there. With the kid only now retrieved, sticking that bomb is not really going to be possible, especially as he goes down. Now it's time for PHR to fade away. He either saves or that happens. He gets eliminated long range by the P250, I think it was. So looking at the or P2000. So first round swings to I believe it's Nordavind. We've been told in chat.
I think that's what someone said.
Nordavind. Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Nordavind. Not gonna lie. It's easier to read when I'm quickly getting those sentences out, you know, while I'm casting.
Yeah, I get you. Nordavind. I'm gonna try it. Whether it's right or wrong.
I won't pronounce the D at the end. I'll
Nordavind. Okay.
I'll meet them in the middle.
Meet you halfway. All right. Well, the Black Eyed Peas will be proud, but are the CT side going to be proud of this B hole? That's the real question. Grubby here with a Deagle going to be challenged as Nordavind want to push down there. They've got lots of utility.
Spanish or something.
Indeed. I don't know. I'm Irish, okay? I'm not good with foreign languages.
Fair. As am I, so I'm sure the chat can give us a little bit of a break. But yeah, of course, as you said, this is the 4th buy right now coming in from AGO. They have a Scout, some pistols, and an SMG. Groovy actually gets 2 kills. How is he allowed to get that done? Almost comes in with another. But he does actually manage to tag him down slightly. Problem is, Caper falls in the meantime, and that leaves Sparrow alone in a 1-on-3. And he has been spotted and already tagged up pretty heavily. So I don't know if he has much chance in this. May just want to even consider saving that Kevlar. And also the MP9 and a Deagle. He could drop the Deagle to a teammate in the next round and give themselves a bit of a chance to get at least some damage done, because of course they did fully invest. Decent nade though. Problem is with no kit, he doesn't really have much of an option to even go for it.
There's a big fight going on in chat about how this is pronounced. we're gonna have to ask some Nordic people to speak to us.
Nordic people. You should probably just ask Norwegian people, man.
Well, we could do that. I don't know any Norwegian people though. That's the main problem.
Neither do I, to be honest.
We know some Danish people though. Maybe they could fill us in.
Maybe not. I think they're pretty different for writing.
I think they're like exiled, right? Like in terms of the Sweden, Norway, all them. They can kind of understand each other fairly well. And I heard a comedian once saying like,
I think you're BSing here, Mitch. A lot of it is quite different, I believe.
I think they can all understand each other verbally though.
Yeah, I've heard Swedes and Norwegians talk to each other, not perfectly, but they can at least somewhat. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it's that Norwegian and Swedish people can kind of read each other's languages a little bit better, while Norwegians and Danes can maybe talk to each other better. I think that's what my Swedish friend may have said. But yeah, right now looking pretty solid for Nordavind. They do have a pretty easy round here coming in their way. Sparrow has stolen away an AK though, so if you can carry that over, that's actually a pretty decent save. Slightly boosts up the buy that they have coming into this next round, of course.
And this is a very strong start now for Norwin, coming in with a... Okay, sure, they lose a couple weapons here on the save, or in the post-plan.
I had it the wrong way around, Mitch. Norwegians and Swedes can talk, and the Norwegians and Danish can understand each other's writing. I tried.
Okay. Yeah, well, I just heard a comedian before who was, I think, Swedish, saying how, like, everybody can understand each other there, except for the Danes. The Danes sound weird, apparently. But I don't know.
I mean, I've heard that they have potatoes in their mouth, and that really gets me going.
As an Irishman, that's what we like to hear.
Mentioned potatoes, and I'm riled up.
Oh my god! Can't confirm that is correct. I've experienced it. 3-0. This is a really important round. If Norwin can win this could be huge. On the T side of Train, getting themselves off to a solid start. 2 opening picks come through as well. Croman coming out, but he can't find anybody. Rubino and Ratifaction sweeping up this round very easily. AGO, you'd be forgiven for thinking that these guys are on an eco, but they had rifles coming into this. Now they only have 1. And AUG looking to be saved over by Grubby. Might as well have been AFK this round. Because they couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, no, the round was pretty much over before it begun, Mitch. Grubby, again, just being forced to try and save, gets 1 kill, but now his position's known. And we're Nordavind having a decent amount of money, they can try and hunt it down. Grubby's body just slid across the floor there. That was interesting, but yeah, 4-0 for Nordavind. This is a very strong start. This is what they needed to see, because again, this is the map choice of AGO. There's Vertigo coming up next. Sure, Nordavind may have practiced it and they might be feeling somewhat comfortable, but they may not know if AGO have got some scrims in on it, if they've went over it a bit as well. So definitely getting off to a good start here on train is a good sign for them. Again, they are a relatively new lineup. I believe people in chat said that they have been playing in some Norwegian leagues, etc., but we haven't really seen much from them on HLTV. So not a lot of results to look back on.
That's the thing, right? They come into this as a bit of a dark horse. We know that all these players are certainly up there and with the potential in this kind of a lineup to take down an opponent or certainly contest an opponent like AGO, but just based on the lack of experience and the lack of data available, you have to assume that AGO are favorites in the series. Getting Train out as their first map pick pretty much made us very confident that they would be able to take the series overall. But based on how this is starting, I mean, Nordavind already have like the majority of the rounds that they need. 4 up on the board this early on is fantastic for them, considering how dominant they were in that first buy round as well. I mean, AGO are the ones that have a lot to prove here, and this round with a scout and a couple pistols, they could actually see. I was going to say they might not get too much done, but okay, Grubby is a nade. There's a scout in play as well, so that can bring at least two down to 1 hit, and it's a little bit too shallow to land it. But still, the pistols up close going to be able to deal damage while the scout tries to return a kill. There's 2 for them already to start it off. And considering the weak investment, this is very good with the scout still in play. Not in play anymore, no. But the trade goes down, and a 2 for 2. Nordavind now have to get the bomb planted, but there's players up close to the bomb site, and they've lost their player in upper. This round could be all but lost. Rubino with only 20 HP and no time. He has to get both kills, really. A bomb plant will be very risky. There you go. Risky, and he takes the risk, doesn't get the reward. 4 for 1. AGO stopped Nordavind from taking the 5th round that I was worried they'd get on the board, because that could almost end things before they begin for AGO on their map pick. Still a buy round to come out, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 5 rounds on the T side would be over and done with for AGO, just because we know how strong that they can be here on train. It's one of their better maps overall. It's one that they do like picking quite often. And we know once they stabilize themselves that they really can pick it up here on the CT side. But picking up that one in the previous round with such a weak buy is a great way to start things off. They come into this one now with everything they could ask for. And of course now they are going to be looking to try and chain those rounds together. Early on, a bit of damage actually being exchanged by either side. PHR just about hanging on to life. And on the other hand, Halzerk, I believe, taking a bit of a nade as he looked to try and find an opening. Pensky gets run boosted across. I believe he did get spotted at least, so we can't really risk actually going for the repeat.
Considering you look back at the previous buy round for Nordavind and, well, full buy versus full buy, they ran out, they played a dominant game. Now they're starting to get a little bit more afraid. You can see them taking their time, being a bit more calculating, but still coming out on top of the opening kill despite the change of pace in the round. AGO still have 3 players towards the A bomb site though, including T main control, and that could be very, very important for them if the push does indeed come towards the A bomb site. The bomb though, making its way towards upper B for the moment. Could be coming down Pop Dog for a hit, and considering they've got 2 players in Ivy, that would be relatively conventional. But they also have the opportunity to take things towards B with a split through CT, as the players towards Ivy can obviously use their util, try to pressure down towards the CT spawn and catch the B players off guard. Also selling somewhat of a fake, and perhaps just selling a fake. They smoke down the CT side, eventually push in, gain CT control, Grubby falls on B, and this round is Nordavind very much favoured. Although a player is cut off, rotating to B, it doesn't really matter. The retake with a man disadvantage, low HP on the AWP of PHR as well. They're probably not going to want to go for it. And so Nordavind pulling it back so early on into a 5-1 lead. And 5 rounds, look, it's not the end of the world on the T side if you let them have 5. But letting them have 5 out of 6 is certainly less than optimal considering it's AGO's map pick. Now, we expect a good T side from AGO nonetheless. But very favoured coming into this series overall. They're now falling behind early on. And they need to start to make a recovery soon, because so far the only round that's looked good for them has been the pistol round they took. with a scout.
Yeah. Fortunately for AGO, this is 2019 CS, April 2019, so luckily enough, losing that round right there after just winning one isn't completely detrimental to them. They are actually able to pull out a buy into this round, as you can see, and it's going to actually be pretty decent, I believe. PHR should be able to drop an up over if he wants. Oh, apologies, have to sneeze for a moment. But yeah, they get a full buyout. It's pretty decent. Groovy, he had, I think, an up in his possession for a moment and threw it over to Sparrow and doesn't really decide to buy up too much himself. So they've kept a lot of money in the bank, really. Forlin is the only one who's fully invested, meaning even if AGO don't come out on top of this round, they'll get a buy in the next one. It'll be, as I said, just Forlin down on a weaker weapon, and even then, he will actually have that full loss bonus coming in, so he should still be able to get a rifle if he wants to. It would just mean likely sacrificing the head armor and probably coming in with no utility.
Oh, the rare animation on the Deagle. We caught it. We're lucky. It's a day for rarities for sure. With the Vertigo coming out, now the Deagle. What will happen next? You gotta, again, the change of pace from Nordavind, I like it. I like the fact that they're not just continuing what worked for them the first time around, going in for the fast plays when they have the rifles. They're playing a lot more calculating. They're trying to catch AGO off, making them sweat as well. Caper's still up close in Pop Dog, has a lot of players above him. Not going for the control though, just holding it. Make sure he doesn't push up as they eventually angle towards B with the bomb regrouping, leaving one in Ivy as well. Although the rotation from the CTs has already come in. PHR is on his way to that B bomb site to help out Grubby. The problem is though, Grubby only has a Deagle. He doesn't even have any armor to work with or utility. But he's managed to evade them down below. Spotted eventually though. Rubino dropped down, saw him in the open, gets the bomb plant. A 2 versus 3 man disadvantage for Nordavind on the back of 2 kills, so this could help them out a lot. The AGO side, obviously. Not Nordavind. You don't want a man disadvantage. But with the bomb down, half the time's almost gone already. And Molotov's very dangerous. That's going to push Rubino right out of position. As he comes out, Caper spots him, and it's only Halzer eliminated already. He was about to be Molotoved off. So either way, that round was AGO winning the retake all over. Just great utility usage there, and then finding the pick long range. Barrow with a double. Defuse coming through puts AGO back in the scoreboard and winning out a buy round at last. Still 5 rounds. Look, there's a very, very solid early foundation set up for the T side.
Yeah, it's all about the grind really from this point forward. If Nordavind can even bring that up to 7 or 8 on the T side, then they're going to be in a position that they're really happy with. Again, though, AGO, as you said, they are pretty strong on the T side of train here, so I think Nordavind ideally will probably be looking to try and double that score, maybe bring it up to 10 or so, just give themselves a little bit of security as they head onto that second half. Have like a 5-round gap. Losing the pistol in that case means that you're not really in too much trouble. But let's see, because AGO now they have a chance to step it up. A team kill actually comes in by Rubino. He goes down to the up moments later. Sparrow follows up at a second, and suddenly it's only Tensky that remains. A Soul Dane in a 1-on-4 has been spotted in Sandwich, of course, after taking 1 frag, and at this point it's pretty much inevitable that he eventually goes down. It took a while, but of course Forlin did finish him off. 3-5, AGO come in with another gun round, and finally the economy of Nordavind has actually been ran down into a position where they will have to go ahead and take an eco. I mean, we should see AGO having not only the opportunity here to take that 4th round, but also doing so in a clean fashion.
Yeah, this should be a 4th round for sure in a clean fashion, like you said. Movement over towards B. Nordavind are going to try to counter the statistics that play against them. A flash over B, and then a straight up push, but they're all trapped in, getting torn apart on the long range angles by the AUGs, and that pretty much concludes the round. The very swift play. There's Furlong with the 4-piece, yeah, indeed. Spams them as they come out. Very easy when they've no armor, of course, and they can't really fight back. They were just looking for the bomb plant, but sadly couldn't make it to the bomb site. Now 5-4. The scoreline closes in. Even despite getting the bomb plant, though, it will be a full buy for Nordavind. As you can see, they have plenty of money. The only problem is that they're not able to get out an AWP. So that could definitely impact them a little bit, especially on train, when you've got Sparrow already proven himself to be a worthy AWP player. And, of course, the AUGs in play as well. That will cause a bit of havoc on the longer angles.
Yeah, both teams probably enjoying this little bit of time that they have to kind of discuss things. AGO, they need to start picking up these rounds still as cleanly as they can. They've built up a solid economy now onto Forlin and Sparrow. Groovy has a decent amount as well. It's only really PHR that's a little bit low on money, so if they do lose one round, they will be pretty easily reinvesting. But Nordavind at this point, they themselves are beginning to build up a pretty solid economy. As we said, they have the loss bonus going up, and for them now at this point on the T side, since they had such a strong foundation, it's all about just grinding out another couple of rounds at least. Like into this gun round, they are just going to be starting things off pretty standard. Normal default coming in. They have a couple players working towards Ivy, a couple over towards B to show some presence as well, and they're just waiting to see, I guess, if anyone on AGO gets aggressive. And as we can see, PHR is somewhat aggressive right now. He's pushed up Ivy. A little bit of assistance in the form of Sparrow with the op. Oh, actually catches the player who goes to run boost his teammate over. Tentsky gets one trade, but there's another player to deal with. He needs to be cautious. Smoke goes down, flash as well. The spam from Tentsky not going to do too much. And Sparrow will actually manage to escape completely unscathed.
Sparrow getting out of there certainly helps the situation. How do you fall him? Nordavind could be in a much better spot. You can see making a bit of presence towards the B bomb side at the moment, but nothing really being dragged over by AGO. They're happy to play this one pretty passively. Haven't not spotted any further contact. Grubby's the only one holding down there. AGO got very aggressive positions as well. Again, it's going to be Caper. He's holding Pop Dog every single round. With the A1S, an interesting choice for this. With the extra magazine as well, he can get a lot more done. They drop down on him, but this is something we've seen a lot, you know, on train in the last couple of days. Teams pushing out through main. They're probably going to try to drop the mollies towards Pop, but they're not able to because everybody's been torn apart. Sparrow on the long-range angles taking everybody down with the AWP. Got himself a triple and closed out the round on 5-5. On the CT side, definitely swinging back into things pretty convincingly. Nordavind not getting very much done at all during that round. And now their economy is in the bin.
Yeah, back onto the eco. 5 deagles at least. It gives them a chance for damage to be put in. They had one flash, I think, to start the round also, but that's already been used, so not the ideal setup by any means. But they are in a decent position. It's just going to be holding now, waiting to see if anyone from AGO is going to peek into them, give them a little bit of a chance to get something done. Tentsky actually finds the opening over towards Ivy, taking the op down in the hands of Sparrow. Of course, not going to be retrievable, and as we see pressure come through main, yet again, it is shut down by AGO. 4-on-3 now in their favor. Make that a 4-on-1 pretty quickly as 2 more were able to come in. And the last player being Tentsky, he already has 1 frag. He's going to have to come in with the ace clutch if he wants to get anything done.
And it's not going to happen. With the 6-5 scoreline, AGO pulling back ahead to where we want to see them on the CT side here of Train, of course, with it being their map pick as well. We do expect quite a decent T side to come out of these guys. And considering Nordavind, they found the opening round, the pistol, then they found up against 2 force buys, I think, and then a buy round. And the buy was very convincing, you gotta say. But since then, they've really struggled to get back into these rounds. That's not going to help. Alzerk missing the opening pick with the AWP. Now stuck in Ivy. Molotov behind him. His teammates can support him a little bit. The smoke eventually goes down, so he's free to get out of there. And as you can see, he doesn't want to aggress any further forward. So AGO failing to find the opening towards long, or Ivy rather. They're going to be refocusing. Their AWP still in play, of course. He's rotated to pick up the bomb. By the looks of things, shifting it over towards upper B. Still, again, leaving these 2 players in Ivy. Look, it worked for them before. Going for the B split. And with the bomb rotating back. Now, again, actually, he's going to be dropping some utility towards A. So they could be coming down Pop, splitting through main as well, getting the AWP posted up, trying to find an angle. And then Ivy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they do eventually take it. A definitely looking like it will be the target, and at this point pretty much has to be with how little time is remaining. As you were saying, though, the question is where are they going to send a bomb out? A main likely candidate. Here we go, beginning the pressure towards Ivy as well. Molotov on the right side to stop anyone from peeking them immediately. Smoke on the left, and Tensky actually going to go through that smoke into the back lines. This may not be expected. He could potentially catch someone off guard with this. Gives them an extra angle of attack and makes things just so more difficult for AGO to hold down. Rubino and Halzerk already finding openings. Tensky decides to just hang in the back lines. A free kill on the Sparrow. And suddenly it's only Groovy that remains. He's coming in from connector. His position is noted. And Halzerk finishes him off just as the bomb goes down. There it is, 6-6. Nordavind pull off one more round finally on that T side. As we said though, of course, AGO built up a great economy, so they're going to continue to buy. But it's all about Nordavind just trying to pick up one or two more rounds at max. If they can bring it up to 7 or 8, they'll be sitting in a position where they can be pretty happy heading onto that CT side.
Yeah, 7 rounds would just be fantastic for them. Already they've secured enough, so AGO have a bit of pressure on their shoulders to bring this up 9-6 and close out the rest of these 3 rounds. If they can't do that, they do certainly put themselves in a negative position for the next half. And despite the fact that they are favored, we're seeing some very strong signs of life from this Nordavind team. And with Vertigo up next, I mean, that's going to be a map that's definitely an uncertainty for both of these teams. So neither wants to be losing at the first map, but even more so for AGO with it being their pick. Down 1 man early on, though, certainly won't help, especially being as it's Sparrow, the AWP player that's had so much impact at shutting down these A pushes before. Knowing that he's now on the floor, Nordavind are focusing their attention towards A for now. The bomb up above Pop Dog, though, they will not want to split that down there alone. If he gets dropped, that could be the round coming to a very swift standstill with 50 seconds left. All Caper needs to do is drop the bomb and pop and Molotov it, and the time's almost run out just like that. So the rotation goes over, definitely the correct decision, but they're staggered pushing out of A. Caper and PHR finding one each. Again, no trades going down. Nordavind just going out one by one. It's not working for them. They find the pick eventually with Halzerk on the AWP, but there's still a man behind. And torn apart again. The 1-for-1 trades at this point just not helpful for them.
But it is Croman that's alive, Mitch. We know that he's definitely capable of pulling off these clutches. That would have been his opportunity there, in my opinion, to take that kill. Sadly, wasn't able to find it, and of course get shut down by the op in the end. Yeah, very stagnated on that push out of A main, as you were saying. They kind of just stopped, and they were waiting for the peak from PHR to come into them rather than pushing together and trying to create their own angles. And yeah, they just made it so easy for PHR to work around the E-box.
Yeah, I feel that's maybe one of the cracks we're seeing from these guys being just such a new team, that they haven't quite got the chemistry up yet. Not kind of operating on the same wavelength. We'll see that probably improve over time. Great opening kill there onto Rubino, tagged by Sparrow, who then finds the second kill of the round, going towards the CT side with a 2-man advantage. Things are looking better and better for AGO. Halzerk does manage to return it, but Croman goes down low in the process, and now the only real problem for the CT side is Tensky, who's coming up behind in Ivy. Furlan's about to peek in. Doesn't spot him out, though. Sneaky beaky like Tensky. Hears him rotate back around. There's the console. Comes up behind, finds a headshot. He's looking for more, but he can't find anybody. Still bringing it into a 2v3. This is a much better position for them. AWP for Halzerk. Can try to find something, but Sparrow's still in play right now, which will cause a lot of problems for them.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to lead to the end of the round, though. As you can see that, well, it does eventually lead to the end of the round, but not in favor of Nordavind, sadly. It would have been a very nice play. But yeah, I think what our observer was trying to tell us there with the console was that after Furlan taking that peek and not spotting the enemy, the unfortunate timing, one of his teammates was definitely going to need to console him.
My God. That's
Mitch, do you expect any more from me?
I did. I shall no longer.
I mean, they're not jokes you're gonna expect, but they're not good jokes.
No, they're really not. I was really confused. I was like, where's he going with this one? What's happening? So, like, we're on to a round that can be played as a bonus here. If Nordavind find it, it's very, very solid for them. They've definitely got the upper hand in the rounds coming into this. If they swing over with an 8-7. AGO, on the other hand, they kind of need the 9-6, give themselves a bit of a buffer. They've been doing well in the last 2 rounds, but no early picks for them this time. One of the problems for Nordavind has just been how staggered they are so far. Rubino getting dropped in Ivy certainly won't help that, and the kills just come in across the board. Caper happy to find one onto Halzerk, who was peeking up, or running out towards the A bomb site rather. Up above is Croman. In a 1 versus 4, not a player that's likely to get away with this. It's a pretty difficult spot with the bomb already down and spotted by Caper. He finds it 9-6, and a round that kind of goes the way we would have expected the buy rounds to go at the start of this series, but I think Nordavind have certainly put up a much stronger fight than we expected.
I mean, I think they definitely could have been a lot happier though as well. They were up 5-1 at one point. They had that 4-0 lead, ended up losing up against the Pistols, and that kind of cost them big time, because otherwise I think they would have been looking at least 7 or 8 rounds on that T side. So not ideal. Again, a fairly new lineup as well. We don't know how the rotations are going to work on the CT side, how strong they're going to be, how proactive. So we're just going to have to wait and see, I suppose. And I think this pistol round is definitely important with the amount of confidence and momentum AGO have rolling in their favor right now. I think they definitely do need to pick up that pistol.
LOOT.BET, made for live betting.
Well, welcome back, as it's a 9-6 lead for AGO coming into the pistol round. They're looking to find this and propel themselves into their terrorist side half. We know that they're strong on train. They've shown us this before. The T side certainly somewhere that they get a lot of work done. So this is a very difficult spot for Nordavind. Finding the pistol for either team at the moment sets them up for a bit of a lead. Tends to be how it works. You'll get a 2-0 lead in the half, and then the potential to win the first buy round and extend that to 4. At the moment, though, AGO are the ones looking favoured, as they already get a lot of control towards B, the bomb to be planted, and Nordavind come into a 4 versus 5 retake. The man advantage in the CT's, or in the T's court rather, and Grubby up around there causing some havoc, or about to cause havoc.
Caught in the open a little bit there. Awkward position for Caper, but it is only Tensky, of course, now who remains. He's surrounded, and although he jumps plentiful, sadly he doesn't really have the capability to dodge bullets in quite that amount anyway, with 2 players shooting at him. So it is going to be the pistol round going in favor of AGO in the end. A fairly standard play over towards B is what makes it work for them. And as you can see, we're now waiting for the stats to pop up. There it is. The frag leader is currently Furlan, sitting with a nice little 69 ADR, 14 kills and 7 deaths.
He's not actually the frag leader. It's Sparrow on 15.
I mean, I'm just reading what the screen says. I've been lied to.
I'm just saying. Oh,
I quit.
That's a lot of damage with the. Oh no, he didn't get the collat. I thought he managed to hit 2 of them. That nade though, that could land a kill. Doesn't quite. PHR avoids it by stepping forward a little bit further. Only down to 25, but it's very easily connected by the players further down the line. Even with the low HP on Caper and Sparrow, though, these kills are not connectable. Nordavind, Deagle, Scout in play. A retake, 2 versus 4. And no kit currently in their possession. Okay, Furlan shoots through the smoke. Why not? Why not? I like that. Takes one. Just, I bet he's in connector. Why not? 11-6. And a round that we expect to see them win. But here's the problem for Nordavind. Now that they've gone for the 4 spy in round number 2 of this half, that means that the round number 18 of the game will result in them on an eco. And so with them, the CT's coming up against a full stacked AK lineup. It should be a fairly swift conclusion to this round.
Yeah, looking pretty easy indeed. 12-6 now being the scoreline. That was a very convincing round, as you would expect. But of course, now the buy is going to come out from Nordavind. They have the op onto Halzerk. They have the rifles across the board, a decent amount of utility to work with, and this is pretty much the gunner that they have to pick up if they want to give themselves a chance here to start making this a competitive game. Again, they had a 5-1 lead at the beginning. Since then, they've lost 12 of 13 rounds. Or rather, 11 of 12.
Oof. That's a big mistake, Dean. I don't know if I can forgive you for that.
I mean, grand. 12 of 14 rounds is what they lost. Alright. But yeah, already the opening kill comes in. Forlan able to just creep out in the sandwich with Sparrow, a flash as well, helping them. And of course, Ratifaction was the one to get caught off guard and taken down. That gives a big opening onto the A bomb site now.
Again, AGO just walking over this. Bomb plank goes down. Halzerk and Kroman on the back foot. An AWP and an AUG looking to clutch it out. With Halzerk going down to 7 and then eliminated by Caber directly afterwards. This is looking to be over. Kroman is last alive. 1 versus 4. An AUG in play, but even towards the indeed the CT spawn, he's going to be cut off. They were pushing connector as well. They were ready to pincer him, take him down. But the first fight was won by the T side, leaving Nordavind with no weapons saved over. And again, pretty poor economy for them, which means it's going to be the pistols alongside the scout, a buy that is certainly not unusual on train. It's a buy that we see come out quite a lot, specifically for the CTs. Some teams even take it out on T, why not? There's the Lowell for AGO. Loss, win, double loss and a win on train. The last match history. But the thing is, again, even those losses, I think none of them were below 16 to 12. From what I remember.
Oh, Ratifaction actually, I believe, sent in Pop Dog. Could be a little bit dangerous since we see how heavily AGO are looking to focus on this position currently. He doesn't have a deagle though, so definitely not the best weapon to have, and actually does get taken down. Forlan able to catch him with a bit of a spam. With that now, they're actually just going to commit straight up onto this A bomb site. Smoke is down to allow for the bomb to be planted. Rubino has somewhat creeped out into a decent position, but it's going to be tough for him to try and deal with all these. He only has a pistol, and they line up for Sparrow. Kroman in the background. Rubino, of course, in the front. Both go down, and with that, it's only Halzerk now that remains.
I mean, what do you expect in a round like that? It's the 1 in a million chance that you go out on top of it. Well, maybe not 1 in a million. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna say a 1 in 6 chance that you win a round with the scout and pistols. We saw it happen for AGO on their CT side, but not to happen this time for Nordavind. The lineup there certainly takes them out of contention. 2 players down, 14 to 6. We're 2 rounds away from AGO closing this out. That is unless Nordavind can close it here with full scopes. Close this round. They still have a long road to recovery, right? They got to find 8 rounds in a row before they're even tied up. They need 10 in a row to find a victory. In regulation, the potential for an overtime is still there. With double ops and 3 AUGs, this is where a lot of teams will go ahead and find a victory on the CT side. There's so many long-range angles on train. It's a map that allows you to be very versatile and be very favored in a lot of the combats that you take. One of the only problems that you'll face is going to be up against an AWP, and this time AGO are not rocking one. They've got an AUG, but outside of that, it's all AKs. So the scopes, 5 scopes versus 1. Nordavind certainly looking good on the ranged stats anyways for now.
Yeah, this is not looking too good at the moment for Nordavind, to say the least. Again, still a big question mark in the air as we head on to Vertigo next, the second map of the series, the choice of Nordavind. We're presuming that Nordavind have practiced that a decent amount, you would imagine. But what we're really wondering is, have AGO really had any time to practice it?
Well, that's it. That's where the question marks lie. And frankly, I'm excited to get it done. I'm excited to get on Vertigo and just see how it plays out, how these teams are approaching it. Starting this round out, though, the approach is not working out too well. Running out of ammunition, Ratifaction just throws his gun away, picks up an AK, and finds himself 2 more as he's all the way up to a 3K, with still a couple of bullets to try to find 1 more kill. PHR up above Pop Dog. Rad's running low, though. I mean, 9 bullets. It's not a whole lot, but he can still get the damage done. And he only needs 1 to take the headshot, of course, as Croman pushes up here. He's going to be spotting out PHR in just a moment. He walks back down. PHR gives away his position. Now Croman up. Oh, yeah, the time. Okay. I completely lost there for a second as to what had happened. The 7 rounds on the board. CT's getting it out. I mean, that was just thanks to a huge play towards Pop Dog. There's the man himself swinging his knife around.
Yeah, Ratifaction has been a pretty solid player. I think he's been around for at least a couple of years now at this point. He's yet to kind of make his way into the international scene too much, but has played on a couple of different lineups. I believe he played on I think it may have been a lineup with Crystal or something in the past. May have been actually the Epsilon, maybe the yeah, it may have been that mixed Epsilon lineup. I'm not too sure actually. But yeah, right now it's not looking amazing. It's a decent start, at least to this round for Nordavind, but they have such a long road ahead of them if they want to try and make the comeback happen here on Train. Losing 1 round means that the best they can do is overtime. So ideally, they need to pick up the remaining 9 rounds in their favor without dropping another. Or rather, the remaining 9. The first time around.
I remember Ratifaction over on No Chance. He was a really.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was most recently, right? That was up until about a month ago. He was a really nice player. That I think I thought he fit into that lineup really well. I was surprised to see him go, but you know, you got to think about No Chance. They don't have any funding. You know, they've been looking. Geez, Michael Laley's been tweeting out for months looking for an org. I'm very shocked that they weren't picked up. So eventually, you know, man's got to eat.
I think the thing was they didn't have a stable roster. They were having changes pretty often, and that, I guess, would kind of put off some organizations. You want to be 100% sure of the 5-year signing or the 5 that they want, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to sign some guy and then they go, yeah, actually, we kind of want this one. But you've already got a contract with him. Makes sense. I think they were fairly consistent towards the end, just before Ratifaction left. I feel like they had like 2 months of a stable enough outside of stand-ins, and they were putting up good results. But it's a shame. Some things just aren't meant to be. Let's see if this round is to be for AGO as they make a push towards the B bomb site. And they've already got a lot of ground made. Ratifaction returns 1 kill. Furlan caught in the open. Sparrow, the savior, I should say, comes in as he has a Molotov in his hand. Furlan thought he was dead for sure, but Sparrow is on point and drops him. That was like something from like Splinter Cell. Or was it Ghost Recon where you could do that? Send 1 guy in, sniper posted up outside. Those are good games. Whoa, those are good games. Tom Clancy. That's the stuff.
What was it? You were talking about Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell, yeah. Ghost Recon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Ghost Recon as well, yeah.
Both of those like
Tom Clancy games in general, they're pretty easy. But yeah, right now, Nordavind, they actually do have a man advantage. They were able to find a couple of opening kills in their favor, shutting down that initial A push from AGO. They had the utility, of course, made things a little bit easier, the Molotov, etc. Can they close this round out? Tensky has a decent position. He has a player up close to him who's playing just off of V-Box up against the Brown train. He'll be able to pounce once the contact is found, but this could be dangerous. PHR has creeped all the way out through Olaf and now in behind Green. He will actually end up going down, sadly, without really being able to find anything. Sparrow finds 1 in the process, and Furlan quickly takes a headshot for himself as well. It's beginning to fall apart, and Sparrow, this angle is absolutely perfect. Easy shot towards Holzerk, and suddenly Croman is left to save the day and save this map for Nordavind. Gets the first, and actually does spot the second, the E-Box. But as he's dropping down, he's going to be an easy target, of course, for the op. 16-8 is the score here on